Good morning, Antique and Garden Showcase friends. It's Mark here, and today we're going to be going along on a day's journey with Antique and Garden Showcase. This morning, I'm loading up the car behind me. I've got all kinds of things for getting ready to go to the booth today. I've got to go work today. I've got to go pick up auction wins from yesterday. I've got to go preview another auction that's coming up this weekend, so busy day ahead. Let me flip this around and see what's in the car for a minute. So in here I have going this really pretty Amish oak bread box is going to the booth today. I have some Bybee pottery or old Cornelius pottery that was actually out of my grandma's basement. There's one picture here that I'm taking, and then another box full of things here. I've also got some pictures wrapped up and blankets in here that I've already got ready to go. So these things will be going to the booth this morning when it opens, but before that I've got to go do a merchandising job. So it's run this week. So here I am back at home today, a little bit weathered from this day. I actually, I went to do a merchandising job. For those of you who know, I do retail merchandising for a company, and I had a store set due before the end of the week, which this week's been a little bit crazy trying to get project after project done, and then the antique booth took off big time. And I actually had 2 days with no sales up there. And I thought, well, today I better go up and put some things in, and maybe by the weekend, you know, some things will sell. If not, you know, the booth will be a little bit more stocked up. So you saw the car when I left this morning, and I had several things in there. By the time I made my rounds and picked up another auction this afternoon and previewed another auction this afternoon, I came home only to find out that about half of what I took over is already sold. So here we go again. You know, I've got to try to find some more source for product for that booth, and it's, you know, it's not easy to find. I have to go out and look and whatever else, but I try to avoid reproduction. I try to have good quality things in there. So apparently people are liking what they see when they come to the booth. That makes me feel good. It also makes me feel great that it's selling and doing well over there. On the other hand, it's getting tough for me to keep up. I mean, between a regular job and whatever else. So, you know, I'm just going to start taking it easy. I'll take it, you know, when things come, and then hopefully I'll be able to finally at some point source enough things that I'll have some back stock that I can just kind of grab and stick in there whenever I need it. I don't have that right now. So, you know, everything I'm getting comes in, gets cleaned up, goes out, and there we have it. So today, you know, the video I had planned kind of got, I don't know, it kind of morphed into nothingness. I was going to take you to the shop, but then I ended up having to do a couple of things there I didn't expect. And then as the day went on, the previews took longer than I thought. The pickup took forever because I ended up getting box lots of glass, and I'll show you what I've got here. I'll put a picture up on the screen. I'm actually thinking about doing an Anchor Hocking forest green glass festival and just put a table full out, because a lot of the booths that you see, you know, the green glass, the Anchor Hocking forest green sells really well, and there's not much out there to be found. And strangely enough, I found like 3 box lots full just in the last little bit, so I've got enough to fill a table. So I think that'll be something that'll kind of draw people in. They'll see all this beautiful emerald green glass and be like, oh, let's go see what all that's about, and maybe they collect and they'll pick up a piece or two to add to their collection. So that's my next thought. I've got some more framed art that's going in tomorrow, and then I also found this really neat, and I'll put a picture of this up too. It's a Kentucky cherry table. The auction listed it as a coffee table, and I didn't pay any attention to it when I looked at the preview. And when when I looked at it online, when I went to the preview, I noticed this little table over there. It was really tiny, but it was made like a bigger gate leg dining table. And in my mind, I'm going, is that a salesman sample or is that a child's table? And I'm like, it's not a coffee table. It's one of those other two things. So I bid on it, and I got it. And when I went to pick it up today, the auctioneer goes, I think you got me. He said, we didn't advertise that the way we should have, because he said, that's definitely, in my opinion, a salesman sample table. So here's a picture of, I think it's a really neat little table. It's got some scuffs and a few little nicks and things on it, but for a project table, for somebody I think they'll really love, having this in their collection. So that was one thing I picked up. So I'm out and about in the yard right now. I'm milling around, just trying to see what's going on. I've not been out here to water. I'm kind of letting the system do it. I did get that repaired, so I'm not out here worried about things turning all toasty and crispy like they were before. Anyway, let's go take a look at a couple of things while I'm out milling around in the yard tonight. First off, if you have never tried an Empress Woo Hosta and you've heard about these on the different gardening channels, this thing is enormous. It is at least, I'm guessing, 3.5 to 4 feet in diameter and has the prettiest big leaves. Now, my grandmother had one of these whenever I was a child, but it was in this variety, but it was not nearly as big as this one. Really love this hosta. It's been really, really a pretty addition to the side, and actually I think I'd like to have another one. Maybe I get the one that's got the variegated leaves. I have to try that one. So if y'all were wondering how the urns turned out, the ones that I said were toasty and crispy the other day, I went back and I did my summer trim back. Trimmed all these back along the bottom down here and kind of shaped them back up. I deadheaded all of the there was one of those Japanese beetles on there. I deadheaded the verbena, and it's starting to come back out, and I gave it a couple of rounds of liquid fertilizer, looking so much better. But these were really, they looked horrible. I mean, they looked like they had been put in an oven and baked almost the other day, but they have really bounced back pretty. And this one tends to just do its own thing. Even if it does get a little dry, it kind of likes it. In fact, I think it would rather be more dry. I probably need to turn the watering system down a bit on it. The clowning around, I put a picture of this up on Facebook the other day, and this leaf on the front is over 12 inches long. So that is an enormous leaf. I didn't know these got that big, but it's such a pretty color, and it's been really happy here on the front porch. And these are the Blushing Brides, and they've still got that weird form, but they look really good. Kind of liking that color this year. That's really pretty. And then the one on this side's doing well. Coming back too, I did the same trim up on it. Now, it didn't affect this bed. I hand water most of this. I do have a drip system that runs up into the urn underground. It connects in and goes across over here. So I have a line underground that runs this way, and it waters, but everything else I hand water in here, and it was never hurt by anything out here. In fact, that bed looks really pretty. If I had to enter anything into a competition that I've done this year, I think this would be it, because I really like this centerpiece of the yard. Now, some of these areas, they're just, well, there's the Supertunia Vista Paradise is just going crazy, and I like that because it kind of takes over where the losers were up there. But some of these things are really, the daylilies have all just about fizzled out. As you can see, the stems are turning brown, and the heat just really took a toll on most of this stuff out here. These pots are starting to come back out as well. I did a little fertilize on those. It is kind of getting that late summer look around here, which is kind of sad, but boy, it's been a hot one. So, you know, I'm never one to say that I like to see fall, but I'm just about ready for it this year. So let's take a trip over here. This is an area that I'm really liking right now. This is the driveway island. And this was the corner I did with the Tickle Me Pinks on each side. And then this is another Blushing Bride. But look at the difference in the leaves on this compared to the ones that are on the front porch. These are a little bit more strappy. Those look more like a regular, just a regular caladium up front. So they've kind of taken on different forms depending on where they're planted. This is more out in the full sun. Those are in partial shade up there on the front porch. So I don't know if the light level has a difference in how the leaves form, you know, more long like the strap leaf. It's kind of a weird occurrence that's happened with caladiums this year. But I have a nice flush of the Verbena bonariensis, the purple there. This actually all came back from seed, and so many people are like, oh, that stuff is so invasive and whatever. Yeah, it can be, but just pull out what you don't want and, you know, keep what you do. The cannas are really pretty. They're needing to be deadheaded a little bit, and probably another good round of liquid fertilizer. I have Canna Rose. I have Bronze Scarlet, and then I have Cleopatra here, which just had its first bloom today. And as you can see, there's two different colors coming out there. You've got the yellow speckled and the red, which is really pretty on that one, and another nice bloom stalk coming out over here. And then it goes back down to Bronze Scarlet and Canna Rose there. And the snapdragons, I've been so busy with the booth and everything else, I've kind of let some things languish. I mean, there's one going to seed. I need to get in there and snip that off and let some of the other growth come back out. I think these would keep on blooming the rest of the season. The petunias down here are really pretty. This is Silverberry and the new Jazzberry together. And I kind of like that combination because you get that little bit of the plum in the middle of that and picks right up. The two look really nice together, I think. On this side had a little bit more trouble filling in. I finally got the chocolate cherry geraniums blooming. They're just now blooming in July, which they were planted in late February. They were so slow this year for some reason. I don't know why. And then the little quick fire hydrangea is just so pretty. It's starting to get that peppermint look to it almost. The signature colors of those really pretty blooms. I love that piece. So when you step back, this is the full picture that you get. And I love it. I mean, this is what you have to drive, you know, when you come home every day, this is the first thing that you see when you pull in the driveway. And it's just such a welcoming, nice, pretty addition to the yard. And this is its second year. Last year it only had 2 cannas in the middle, and I changed that to 5 this year. And I'm liking how much more full that is this year. Looking really good. I've got other ideas for this space for next year. I'm going to use a different marigold. I like the marigolds on the outside edge. It kind of keeps some of the wildlife away that doesn't like that smell. But I think I'm going to use the bigger marigolds, maybe those big pom-pom looking ones in the miniature varieties, and put all the way around the edge. And then I think I'll go back with the snapdragons because I'm really liking that level of height in there. And I like those colors too. Really pretty. I may not go with white, or I might go sparsely with white and then put another color in there as well. But this is an area that I really love this year. Well, friends, that's just going to about do it tonight for Antique and Garden Showcase, because guess what? Tomorrow morning, I have to go load that car back up with more stuff and go back to the shop in Berea to get it filled back up again. Probably so it can sell by noon tomorrow. With my luck here lately, it seems like I can't seem to get it stocked completely to make it look like a working, functioning booth. It always looks like it's having a going out of business sale. Maybe that's what's bringing people in. I don't know, but whatever is going on is working. So I'm going to be out and about tomorrow. I'll be over there for a while, and then I'll probably go trying to find something somewhere to source for this booth again. So good to be here with you tonight. Hope you're having a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.